Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at baffles. Are you baffled by baffles? Well then this is the video for you. We're going to take a look at a couple of different styles of baffles and see how they work. While you're on lockdown right now, it's a good time to build some rockets. Hopefully everybody is working on some. Perhaps you flew a rocket and had a little bit of a destructive test unplanned. Well, it happens, and today we're going to take a look at this rocket that had some destruction. My baffle came apart. You can see it's actually a pretty cool test to see that the glue survived quite well. The wood didn't survive on one side here, but the Kevlar and the bolt survived extremely well, but mainly the glue ripped off of our coupler tube. So not a problem there. We're going to repair it. There's a couple different styles of baffles. I have one here from Lock Precision. It's literally a coupler, and you can use this as a coupler in your rocket, either where it's intended to be between two tubes, or you can put it in another place if you want. It doesn't have to be as a coupler, or if you have a single tube, you can also use it, just stuff it down inside your rocket. So this one from Lock has a couple of cut wood plates and a couple of tubes, and they go inside this coupler, and they essentially sit like this. You can see, I'll just kind of hold it up this way. You can see that the airflow will go through one tube and around and out the other tube. And the reason that we use a baffle is to block the ejection charge coming up from the motor, because we don't want any flame hitting our parachute. And if we use a baffle, we really don't have to use a parachute protector or dog barf if the baffle is effective, such as this one. This one works really well. There's another style here that I include in my Cherokees, and this one is, let's get the pieces here. This one is really just a coupler tube here. Okay. And I've got one plate for the end, and what we do is we assemble it with an eye screw, an eye bolt through there and the other side, and then attach this to one side of the coupler. Glue one in place first. You can put a nice bead of glue around the inside, and that'll help the pull-out strength. As you can see here, quite a bit of glue on this one. And then this is literally a kitchen scrubber. It's a 3M kitchen scrubber from the restaurant supply or grocery store. That goes inside here. I like to stretch them out a bit. They're really stretchy. Kind of make it bulkier if you can, because this is going to absorb any flame that comes through. This works really well. Just, of course, glue it together, stuff it in there, and glue the other side. And that's really it. It's very simple to build a baffle, and you can't see through there. You know it's going to block all of the hot gas, any flame coming off your ejection charge. And a couple of other advantages. It gives us a great place to attach our shock cord, and in a rocket like this, you could do any number of methods to attach a shock cord. Well, I like this one a lot because it makes it a little bit shorter. It's not attached way down to the bottom of the rocket. It's very effective. So another advantage is, I'm just going to empty this. We'll pretend it's still full, okay? Having this in here and our body tubes on. Another advantage is that it holds our recovery gear higher. So if we didn't have that baffle in this rocket, our recovery gear would shoot all the way to the bottom at takeoff, and would be a long distance for it to come back out. So having this baffle right in here keeps our recovery gear much higher, and so it has a much shorter distance to come out of the rocket. The only disadvantage that I can think of to using a baffle is if you've got a short rocket, it's not perhaps very effective. If you've got a short rocket here, you will be blocking the length of the motors, or limiting the length of the motors you can use. And maybe that applies to a Megadur Red Max or a rocket without 2 tubes, something short. But otherwise, I don't see really any disadvantages to using a baffle. One thing to note, and you'll probably see this in the instructions for assembling your motors, if you have a plastic cap that goes on top of the motor to hold your ejection charge in, don't use that plastic cap. You should use instead just tape, because that plastic cap will shoot up into your body tube and get stuck inside above your motor mount and below the baffle, so it's not clear. So that's the only other real disadvantage that I can think of. So I hope this is helpful. You can find baffles online. This is Lock Precision. That's easy to find. You can make your own, really just with some wood and eye bolt and a kitchen scrubber. You can purchase them online at all the Rocketry vendors. And there are quite a few styles available. I've shown 2 here. This one just with holes for pass-through, this one with tubes. There is another one for the Lock Sandhawk, and I think that's the 2-point something inch. I'll have to look it up. 2.6-inch Sandhawk, and this is a baffle / AV bay from Apogee, and it allows the gas to pass through, but also gives you a place to mount your electronics in that Sandhawk for use in 2-stage rockets. So I will link that below. I will link these other baffles in the video, and you can click on those and check them out. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.